I need your prayers this morning. I feel awful scattered and not really sure which way to go and try to go. But I'm thankful that God, strength comes in our weakness.
Yeah.
We were at that little gathering yesterday up in Kentucky, and sometimes I forget just how big our little family is. And while we were sitting there at the dinner table, I just couldn't believe how blessed our family has been with so many of us being in church. And how sad it is that a lot of families can't say that. And you know, I don't believe that we can earn anything. Not through works or not through charity.
Mercy. It's grace.
But it is through God's mercy. All good things come from Him. We're so quick, it seems like, when troubles come and maybe we're going through a hard time, sickness, or whatever the case may be, we're so quick to question, God, where are you? Where are you? Because the flesh is so contrary to the Spirit. I'll tell you the way the world works and the way that they view things. You can read a story in the Bible here, and you can get you a song. I won't take but a couple minutes. But you know, you can read about David and how blessed he was.
Yeah.
Yep. And you can read about how when the people were wanting God to give them a king, and they were looking for a great man of stature.
Yeah.
Strong man.
Looking on the outside.
Yeah. They were looking,
Looking on the outside.
no doubt, for someone that they could point at and say, look at our king.
Yeah. Yeah, look how proud we are.
And you can read about Saul and how the world adored him. And how they took their eyes off of God and were looking on the natural things. You can read about how God left Saul. And you know the story about little David and how he was chosen from Jesse's sons.
Yep. Little shepherd.
Yeah.
The youngest. He wasn't a comely man. He was just a young, ruddy boy. But God found favor in him. And Saul became awful jealous because of how blessed David was, and he became so jealous of him. Listen, you think about that. The king of Israel, the greatest man, listen, in the eyes of the people, became jealous of a little ruddy shepherd boy, a child. Because of the spirit that was in him.
Yeah.
Listen, and he sought to kill him. No doubt he thought, well, listen, I've got the greatest army in the country. No doubt, listen, I can kill this little boy, and then everything will be alright. Listen, then all the people will love me again, and they'll forget about David. Listen, and David ran and hid from him there. Listen, and Saul got word of where he was hiding. Listen, out in the wilderness. Listen, and you know what? Saul took his soldiers and went out to find him, and they were looking high and low, and they couldn't find him anywhere. Listen to me, and David and some of his soldiers were hiding deep in a cave there.
That's right.
Listen to me, and David, no doubt, listen, was pretty scared there. Listen, being hunted by all these soldiers, took refuge down in a cave. Aren't you glad that no matter where you go, the Spirit of God can go with you? And Saul rose up one morning and he went, listen, to rest in the mouth of that cave. And David's soldiers come back to him way back in the depths there and said, look at how fortunate you are. God's delivered Saul. Kill him. Take his life and all your troubles will be over. And you know what? David got up and he snuck up to the front of that cave. Listen, while Saul was resting, and he took his knife and he cut off a piece of his robe and he went back to his men. When this world listen, when it tells you that there's nothing to this stuff, there's nothing to this book here, there's nothing to the Spirit of God. That's when you better be praying. Listen, you better be praying for guidance. Listen, and you know what? No doubt, when David come back to his men, they were looking at him like, "What are you doing?" Listen, look at the opportunity that you've got here. But David had a spirit in him. Listen, and when Saul left that cave and started climbing a hill, David come out and he hailed him. Saul, listen, and he got down on his knees and smote himself and said, "Saul, what have I done against you to make you want to come and kill me? But don't you see that God delivered you into my hand? But because you are the king, I can do no harm to you because God told me not to." And he held up that piece of his robe there, listen, and said, when my soldiers told me to kill you, listen, God told me to be merciful. And don't you understand that that's the way that we need to be here? And Saul fell on his knees and started crying and begged David for forgiveness.
I'm wrong and you're right.
That's right.
The world is so contrary to the things of God. You know what? I was looking at all the kids that were there. We've got, forget how many great-grandchildren that my memo has.
Got a few.
And you know, I realize that there's just a few of us out here today.
All right.
And there may not be a sinner in the house. But our children need to see us trying to serve God.
That's right.
Amen.
That's right.
Because that's the greatest
Where
example.
else would you go?
You can talk about Sunday school and vacation Bible study, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things. Listen, but there's something to seeing mom and dad worship God.
That's right.
That's
That's right.
those are memories that'll never leave them.
Yeah.
And I know because they never left me. Even when I was wild and ran away. You know what? You just get ready to sing.
Yep.
You just know the story about when Olivia was born. And I dreamed about it last night. Sometimes God takes me back there.
Yeah.
Sometimes, listen, when I get weak in the spirit, sometimes maybe I get a little slack and He takes me back. He takes me back to that day and shows me, listen, how mercy works.
That's right.
Listen, and
That's
it
right.
fuels my fire a little bit.
That's right.
You know what?
Iron.
When Brandy, listen, when she quit breathing there on that hospital bed for over 20 minutes, listen, she quit breathing and they were fighting, trying to get her to come back. Listen, when I heard the heart monitor start beeping again, I walked up to the table there and I got down right in front of her face and they told me, they said, try to talk to her, try to get her to come around. Listen, and I just began to pet her head a little bit and said, honey, I need you to open your eyes for me. I need you, listen, to stick around for a little while. And I said, honey, it's me. I love you. I need you. Listen. And when I seen her eyes start to flutter a little bit, and she opened them and looked at me, you know what? I'll never forget the first words out of her mouth. She said, where's my babies? Listen. You know what?
Yeah.
Don't you know that's the way my Lord is. When He was hanging on the cross, listen, no doubt He had His children on His mind. People, and I'm thankful. Go ahead and sing. I'm thankful, listen, that He has the kind of love that no matter what we do, no matter how we offend Him, no matter, listen, what manner of sin that we may commit, He still loves us.
Yes, He does.
And it is an unconditional love. It'll never leave you. It's a love that comforts me in my darkest hour. My darkest hour of night, I can talk to Him. And He comforts me.